Hi, welcome to BackChat, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, the German Ambassador to Zambia, Anne Wagner-Mitchell. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Joel, for having me on the program.
So you've been here since August 2020. How's been your experience in Zambia, and it's not your first time to Africa in general?
Exactly. It's my second posting in Africa. I started as a very young diplomat 20-something years ago in West Africa, in Accra, Ghana. So this is my second posting in Africa, but it's my first posting, of course, as ambassador. So this alone has been a very special experience for me, and I think I came at a very interesting time in 2020, 1 year before the elections, and then being here for the elections, seeing everything that unfolded around the elections, and in the end the democratic transition of power, a new government, new policies, and so on. So it's been a very, very interesting time in these 3 years.
Okay, so recently we had a visit from your president. So in the wake of the German president, Frank-Walter Steinmeier,
Correct.
Who was recently here. What are your predictions for the relationship between Zambia and Germany?
Well, Zambia and Germany enjoy very good and cordial relations since independence, literally. But our relationship so far was very much focused on development cooperation. Again, very cordial and good cooperation over the decades. And I think we have now seen this year, this autumn actually, a high intensification of really government-to-government relations, political relations. We had the visit of our president, a state visit here to Zambia about 6 weeks ago, but we also had then the visit of the president, Hakainde Hichilema, to Berlin. He was invited by our Chancellor, Scholz, to attend the Compact with Africa summit. But there were also bilateral meetings of the Chancellor and the President. So we have really seen now for the first time ever this highest level talks and meetings. So we are really moving on to a different level in our cooperation and our bilateral relations.
Okay. So recently, COP28 has come to an end in Dubai. Like much of sub-Saharan Africa, Zambia is already experiencing some of the effects of climate change. So recently, Germany extended support through a water supply facility. What additional measures can both nations explore to further contribute to the mitigation of environmental challenges?
Well, I think we all agree climate change is the biggest challenge of mankind. And climate change can only be tackled at a global level, really, with joint global efforts. On a bilateral level, a lot of our development cooperation is focused around climate change and mitigation and adaptation to climate change. You mentioned the water sector, which is one of our focal areas in our development cooperation. One is really supply of water and sanitation facilities, but the other is also water resource management, very often at a regulatory level. You know, you have demands from the agriculture, from energy, from people, human beings who need drinking water, and it's very important kind of to manage the demands and with limited water resources to manage this well. So this is one area we are looking at. Then again, agriculture, very, very important. There are so many ways nowadays where you can adapt agriculture to climate change by using different ways, conservation agriculture, for example, different tilling methods that keep the moisture much better in the soil, even during dry spells. Then, of course, energy. We fully understand the increasing demand for energy, not only in Zambia, but in all developing countries worldwide. And of course, looking at fossil fuels often seems to be the easiest and quickest answer. However, we all know the terrible effects that fossil fuels have on carbon emissions and hence climate change. So another focus of our cooperation is supporting and improving the use of renewable energies. And Zambia is blessed by natural assets in terms of, again, the rivers for hydropower generation, the sun for solar power, and so on. And here, again, we try to support Zambia in making use of these natural renewable resources to increase energy production and to meet the increasing demand of energy.
Okay, thank you for that. So with what you have said, what specific sectors or industries in Zambia do you believe offer the most promising investment opportunities for German businesses, and why?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, there are the obvious sectors that I think also the Zambian government mentions for the right reasons. The mining sector. The government has the goal to much increase the copper production, for example. But beyond copper, Zambia is blessed with other critical raw materials that are strategically very, very interesting for industrialized countries like Germany. We have a big interest in diversifying our supplies in that area. Zambia has these assets. They are there. They are in the ground. I think largely even unexplored, and they have a high interest and priority in local value addition. So I think this is really an area where win-win situations can be created, where German investors can come in, look at what's on offer, see how they can help and support also local value addition here. And for us, it's very, very clear, and even our chancellor has said it at the highest level, we want to really support local value addition. We are not the ones who are just looking at extracting raw materials. We don't see it as a threat or competition to our industries, but again, we see really win-win situations, both for the countries where the raw materials are and potential off-takers in Germany and Europe. So this is the mining sector, obviously very interesting. Another sector, agriculture. Again, Zambia has huge areas of arable fertile land, has decent rainfalls. Still, productivity is very, very low because a lot is non-mechanized farming, subsistence farming. And again, here there's a huge potential through mechanization to improve productivity, to maybe go much more into also local processing of agricultural products. Again, an area where Germany has some strengths, where we do see enormous potential. Thirdly, again, energy, renewable energy. Germany has a lot of expertise in hydropower plants, turbines, generators, solar power as well. So these are the obvious areas where we see potential.
Yeah, that's a good one, and I agree with you. There's huge potential in that space. How would you describe the current business and investment climate in Zambia, and what measures is the Zambian government taking to attract foreign investment?
Well, you see, we as embassy, we don't have first-hand experience in trade and investment. We are not investors ourselves, so we rely a little bit on the feedback that we get from our companies, European companies. In general, I think we can say that On the one hand, we realize the strong focus of the government of having a private sector-driven economy, and I think we fully agree. You need the private sector to create local employment, to create growth, to create development. We hear a lot of high-level announcements and then also a lot of MOUs being signed and so on, but we still feel the actual implementation, getting to something tangible, to results, there could be improvements. Talking about the business climate itself, again, as I said, we rely on the feedback that we get from our companies, and they feed it in through various channels with government. So I guess the complaints or concerns are known. Business complain that they are burdened with a lot of red tape, a lot of mandatory licenses they need, memberships, audits, and so on. That all of this is still surrounded by corruption, which is still very much an issue. Access to finance, of course, is an issue, and I think we are all aware that there are some external factors that hopefully will be solved soon to improve kind of the capital markets and access to finance again. I know that they are also a part of, for example, the public-private dialogue forum, which I think is a great institution, bringing really the private sector and government together as a platform where private sector can really describe from their experience where are the bottlenecks, what should be changed so that the business environment becomes more conducive and so on. So I think the fact that this exists, again, is a great idea. And again, it's a question of follow-up and then really looking, okay, how can we reduce the bottlenecks?
Okay, so could you highlight any successful collaborations or partnerships between Zambia and German businesses in the past or more recently, and what lessons can be learned from those experiences?
Well, what comes to mind is something that developed in the course of this year, which is a joint venture in the pharmaceutical sector. There is a Zambian-owned pharmaceutical company here that had the vision or has the goal really to improve their production and make Zambia or their company as a hub for production of certain medicines, even a regional hub with the aim of exporting eventually, first supplying, of course, the Zambian market. And I think the pharmaceutical sector is also a very crucial sector. If we look back at a time which we all already seem to forget, COVID, of course, showed us the drastic effects when countries are reliable on imports of medicines, of vaccinations and so on. So the idea of a country like Zambia becoming more independent and producing more medicines themselves is very positive. It's an area that the EU is trying to support here. We had earlier this year in March the EU-Zambia Pharmaceutical Forum, where we had interested companies from Europe and Zambian companies getting together. We had the government there, and as a result of this EU-Zambia Business Forum, we have now a number of European countries, including 2 German companies, who have entered contracts with these Zambian companies to supply machinery and to really transform the production of this company here to a state-of-the-art pharmaceutical company. And again, this was mostly B2B driven, private sector to private sector, a Zambian company with a vision reaching out to world market leaders in that area. And I think this is a wonderful example, and I'm looking forward to next year cutting somewhere a ribbon. And being part of opening that new production plant here.
Okay. This has been BackChat with Ambassador Anne, and thank you for your time. Any closing remarks?
Well, thank you for this initiative and really getting to know us and listening to some of the concerns we have. And I think it's very important that we stay in contact and dialogues through ZDA and with the government and really together try to unlock the immense opportunities here in the areas of investment and trade in Zambia. And I'm looking forward and hoping that in 2024 we will see really fruition of what we are doing, what we are trying to generate in terms of interest of German companies in Zambia, which is still a very unknown market to German companies in terms of trade and investment. But I'm confident that we will have some more positive results and more success stories to tell next year.
Thank you so much. Once again, this has been BackChat with Ambassador Anne Wagner-Mitchell. Unfortunately, I didn't come bearing gifts, but I will make sure we send you a Christmas card.
I'm very glad you didn't come with any gifts, and I'm looking forward to your card, which is most welcome, and will get a special space in my office here.
Yeah, thank you very much, and once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.